it so bad.
Alright, I'm here to show you the 2024 Ford Mustang, and boy was I ever wrong. This looks a lot like a Mustang. It's got a lot of traditional touches to it, and it's incredible. I'm in love with this machine. First of all, you can actually start it and rev it from a distance, so that is just so cool. Now we got to check out the engine here. Got some really nice touches. The new lights, the LED lights that you've got going here. The seats, very much traditional Mustang seats. You've got all sorts of different modes in the dash. You've got about a combination of a dozen different colors. You can change up the dashes here. Of course, you got your traditional as of 2015 and on. You can change your steering wheel ratio between the wheels and the steering wheel, and also comfort, easier to turn, sport, harder to turn. The new bottom out steering wheel here is fantastic. That's very new to the Mustang. You've got your Mustang mode down here. Take off this little plastic screen. Let's not get our fingers dirty in there. You press the Mustang and that's where you're going to get your track modes. You're going to go down and you've got your auxiliary gauges, your custom mode, but auxiliary gauges is pretty neat. So let's check this out here. Auxiliary gauges, and you can check out your voltage, your PSI, your pressure, sorry, for the oil. You've got your heated steering wheel here. You've got your how fast you're braking, the lateral G, the braking G's, the acceleration G's, so all that force you're going to feel. You've got your temperature over here, and let's go into the modes here. So you've got your normal mode, and you've got your normal gauges. Now let's hit it down into sport mode, and let's see what it does to the gauges. We've got new gauges, so very cool right there. Now let's try out track mode. Now track mode is going to open up the exhaust if you've chosen active exhaust. Highly recommend that you do. It shakes the car. Wow, I am so impressed. Now you've got your drag strip mode, and once again you've got your little Mustang icon, the different Mustang in the gauge in the dash changes, and you're going to be able to see your speed limit still. You're going to be able to see your PSI pressure off your tires, your fuel, so everything that you need in track mode, but your main focus gets to be the RPM. Because of course when you're in drag mode, it's all about taking off. You're going to want to use the technology so you can, put it at 4,000 RPM, put the pedal down, and then take off when the vehicle's ready to take off. So really cool. You got your drag strip, you got your slippery mode in here. You can customize your mode, play around with what steering wheel feel versus what exhaust you want, whether you want to go all out and open. Watch out if you're in California, huge ticket. You've got your cell phone charger here. I'm loving this thing. Yes, the interior is a little more squared off, so not quite traditional Mustang, but I'm loving this screen. I don't think anyone needs to have any complaints about this screen whatsoever. You've got your handbrake here that can also be used as a drift brake, and it's like, look at this, it's working the muscle. This is a workout here. Look, making the veins pop. So that's got a really good feel to it. So that's your handbrake to do some drifting with. Now let's check out the engine. Let's get this hood open. Traditional spot for the engine popper. That's awesome, folks. And you still have all the technology to keep you safe in here. You've got your lane keeping, while lane centering, you've got adaptive cruise control, you've got all the technology that you need. And I love, by the way, steering wheel feel is so important, because if you're on a bumpy road, you want to be in comfort mode, because in comfort mode, you're not going to be shot around left and right from the tracks that are in the road. And if you're in sport mode, then yes, it's great. You've got really a firmer feel. You've got a more precise ratio between the wheels and the steering wheel. Mind you, in every mode they're adaptive. So the ratios between the steering wheel and the front wheels are going to adapt to the speed you're going to give you more safety and comfort. So fantastic system right there. Now we've got pretty bad roads here, so I generally drive in normal mode. And if I get on a beautiful windy mountain road that's just been paved, well then I can throw it in sport mode. Love the hot air diffuser. So this is a functional vent. Ford Mustang, they're the real deal. You can put the pedal to the metal on this car every day. It's built for it. It's strong, it's powerful, it's reliable. And what I love is it's functional. So you've got a functioning air extractor, hot air extractor here on the nose. So that's gonna take your hot air out. You still have a real clip here. Clip is right in the middle. Finally, this is incredible. Pistons on a Ford Mustang. So you got the pistons for getting the hood up, and you've got dual air intake. So 480 horsepower on this bad boy, and if you want, you can change these out and make the air a little less restrictive, and you're going to gain about 10 horsepower. But you need to change out both ends so you have equal amounts of air volume going to the engine. You got your 5-liter tag right there, just give you a real look at it here. Beautiful 5-liter, and I'm loving this stability bar because the stability bar isn't just a stabilizer bar, it's also the full-out triangle. So you see it's the same on the other side but covered with plastic. But this bar is a triangle setup, so more structural rigidity. This is fantastic, folks. I love this. Loving this vehicle. So you're gonna want to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification because we need to take one of these on the road in the near future. Thank you so much for watching. That's a quick rundown of everything you need to know about the new Mustang. You got more horsepower, fantastic, a whole lot more tech, way more touch screens, more so than ever before. So this is starting to look so much more, the interior looks more like a $200,000 Mercedes with all the screens all over the place than, well, 75,000 Canadian for, well, a fully loaded convertible. And the mags, folks, the brakes are bigger than ever. So the Brembo brakes, bigger than ever. Look at these brakes here. And these mags, they're honeycomb style. They really remind me of GT 500 mags that we've had on previous Mustangs. So you've got that traditional Mustang look when you're going with a honeycomb mag. Love it. Love the huge brake. The discs are huge. This is making me think that this is more of a Mustang Mach 1, and it's not. It's not. But it's got the brakes like on the Mustang Mach 1. This thing is truly impressive, folks. Truly impressive. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, just click finisher. And don't forget the bell notifications so you don't miss out on any Ford content. Thank you so much for watching. Wish you all more cars and more power. Now, whether you're a hardtop fan or a convertible fan, a GT 5-liter V8 fan, or that 2.3-liter Ecoboost with 315 horsepower, that's a 4-cylinder Ecoboost engine, no matter what type of Mustang fan you are, and maybe you're not a Mustang fan, but you should be, and we've got great advice, and that's to get the performance package, because it's not just about looks. Because yes, it comes with 19-inch ebony black painted aluminum wheels, some summer tires that are a little stickier, and some big brakes that brake a whole lot more. The Brembo 6-piston front brake calipers are huge. The rotors are huge. Amazing stopping power. Now, of course, if you want sound, go with the 5-liter. The 2.3-liter does sound really great for a 4-cylinder. But your 5-liter, this is probably your last generation to get that option. So I jump all over it, but no matter what, get this performance package. It's worth the money. It is a looker. You've got those mags looking like they're straight from a Shelby product. I highly recommend it. But let's just talk about really what you're getting with the Mustang. Now, all Mustangs are a unitized welded steel body with an aluminum hood and steel front fenders. So your hood will never rust. The rest of the body will. I recommend getting these vehicles undercoated. A unitized welded steel body really just means that it's a unibody. So no frame, full frame to this one. And they are made in Flat Rock, Michigan. They're all front engine, of course, rear wheel drive with limited slip differential. And I say all, that's because we're talking about the GT, the Ecoboost, and the Dark Horse. And I think the sweet spot, the best value for the dollar is getting the 5-liter V8 with performance package. Now you can see that there are, or you will be seeing that there are similarities with previous models. Now the latest Mustangs, the 2024, has a lot of sharp edges on it, which is already where the 2015 to 2023 model was heading towards. It's not the more rounded off models that we've seen earlier in the past. You could choose and opt for the standard 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine with its 315 horsepower or 480 horsepower on the 5-liter V8. It's hard to get out because that is a ton of power. They are all dual overhead cam engines with variable timing. So the variable camshaft timing, the timing on the engine is completely variable, so you're getting the benefits of added fuel economy and more horsepower. You know, if you're light on the pedal, it's going to give you cam timing that helps save fuel. And if you're hard on the pedal, well, it's like you just pulled out the cams and put in new cams for some really aggressive ones that take more fuel. So you're getting the best of both worlds on all of these engines. Now, there are these engines, if you go with the 2.3 liter, you're looking at a high pressure cast aluminum block and head, whereas the Dark Horse and the GT, you've got cast aluminum block and head with plasma transfer wire arc cylinder liners. That is super high tech, folks. Used to only be available on race engines, so really impressive. And this engine is a lot like a race engine. It is extremely strong, but if you want the strongest engine, you're gonna have to go with the very limited, very hard to get Dark Horse, because while it has a steel oil pan, just like the 5-liter, has one thing that's a little different, and that's a forged connecting rod. So really made to take a beating, but your regular 5-liter is made to take a beating too. Like I said earlier, the sweet spot really is that performance package. Now for compression ratios, you got 10.6 to 1 on the EcoBoost and 12 to 1 for the GT and the Dark Horse. These are naturally aspirated with dual air boxes and throttle bodies. So dual throttle bodies, dual air boxes if you go with the Dark Horse or the GT. And the induction, of course, is twin scroll with overboost on that 2.3 liter. They're all distributor-less with coil-on plug engines. So that's your ignition system for all of them. Your fuel delivery for all these engines is port fuel and direct injection. So the port injection is great for when the engine is cold, because if you had just direct injection, well, you'd gunk up the motor with carbon. Direct injection burns more fuel, helps you have more power, and is a great option, but not on its own. So Ford's paying for 2 injection systems so that we can get the best of both worlds, reliability and fuel economy and power, the perfect trifecta. And I've got to say, I've owned a lot of Mustangs. I mean, I've owned a brand new Mustang or near new Mustang every year for the last 10 years. I've owned about 8 to 10 older Mustangs. I'm a Mustang guy. And I gotta say, I thought I really would not like this new Mustang. I thought it would look a little too Camaro or a little too non-Mustang, non-Ford. But now that I've seen it in person, boy, was I ever wrong. This thing is absolutely incredible. And it looks like a Mustang because there's a lot of traditional touches all over it with enough new to really plenty of new. So it does feel like a whole new model. It doesn't just look like another rehashed 2015 to 2023 Ford Mustang. This is worth every dollar. It's worth taking out on the road. And I can tell you that as of 2018, that 5-liter Mustang GT sounds a whole lot better. I definitely, if you're looking for a used one, I'd get a 2018 way before getting a 2017, but I think these new ones are worth the money, because remember, Mustangs barely depreciate. So you get this vehicle, it's going to barely depreciate over time, but it also means if you're looking at the used market, you're going to pay a lot if the vehicle is in good condition, hasn't been, beaten, and it doesn't have a lot of mechanical or aesthetical issues, a lot of wrong going down. So I think you're awfully right if you go and buy a new one, or really, a gentlemanly driven or driven by a lady. If you get one of these driven by someone very responsible, then getting a used one can be a great idea. But I've got to say, this thing sounds better than a Corvette. Yes, I said it. It sounds better than the new Corvettes. The 5-liter Mustang GT might be one of the best sounding vehicles out there on the market right now. I know I haven't heard anything better, and the 10-speed transmission with paddle shift is absolutely incredible. I love the paddle shift transmission. The 10-speed is incredible. It shifts faster than any human could with a normal manual transmission that you'll find in a few vehicles left on the road. There's still a few new vehicles coming out with manual transmissions, but they are few and far in between now. If you do get the manual, well, it's a good manual. It's not my favorite manual on the market, but I love the Tremec, so the Dark Horse, the Mustang Mach-1, and the Shelby, the manual Shelbys, like the GT350, have that Tremec transmission, and it is incredible. So getting a used Mach-1 or getting a Mach-1 that's still new and on the lot, I think is also a fantastic idea. If you want to go manual, I highly recommend the Dark Horse if you can get your hands on one, or a Mach-1. You'll thank me. You're going to love that Tremec transmission. You're going to love the 10-speed automatic. Even if you're a manual guy like myself, guy or gal, I'm a full-out manual guy, but the 10-speed with the paddle shifts, you can still play around and have a whole lot of fun. You just don't have a clutch, but it is an incredible transmission. Folks, no matter what you get, the Ecoboost, the 2.3-liter, hardtop, convertible, this is an amazing machine. Don't let anyone tell you that the new Mustangs don't handle. Okay, maybe the old models didn't handle that well. If you're looking at a 1990s or early 2000s Mustang, yeah, there's a lot left to be desired when it comes to handling. But these new machines, I've driven them. I've had so many of them, of the older models, 2018 to, well, I've had a 2015 GT, I've had a 2017 GT, I've had a 2018 GT, I've had a 2022 GT, and I've had a whole lot of other GTs like a 2013. I've been all over the place with these, and I can tell you that the new Mustangs with their new independent rear suspension are incredible machines. You're going to love the comfort that they offer, considering it's a sports car. It's a very comfortable sports car for a sports car. But you're also going to love how this thing bites into corners, how it drives and handles in the corners. On a racetrack, people might have different opinions when they're going 10 out of 10, but for daily driving, you're going to love this. So buy one while you still can. Order one up. I'm Johnny, and I appreciate you for watching. And I'm going to sign out, leaving you with the note that this is a star vehicle. This is one of the best sports cars that you can buy on the market. This is my favorite sports car that you can currently buy on the market. I feel it's very much worth the money for a new one. I love this 2024, and I thought I wouldn't really like it. And I've indicated this if you've been following me for a while. I indicated this in the past, so I gotta say, I'm sorry, folks. I was wrong, and I appreciate you sticking with me just the same. But I can admit that I'm wrong when I'm wrong. So stick with us, because I'm going to do another video coming up soon to really show you up close and personal all these modes that you've got. I want to explain the inside of the vehicle, show you how incredible this technology is. And I want to take it on a test drive in another video and show you how this thing drives, prove to you that the suspension is incredible. In the meantime, I've got previous Mustang videos driving out on the roads on some very bumpy roads, also taking some corners and putting the pedal to the metal. So please encourage this channel, help this channel out. We'd really appreciate it, because it helps feed and dress those poodles. And until next time, we wish you all more cars and more power. Take care, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Please take the time to drop a comment. What's your favorite Mustang model? And if you made it this far, type in finisher in the comment box. Take care.